guys, my name is Suchi Gupta. I am a credit risk consultant, and today we've come up with a new video of our quantitative finance module. In the previous videos, we had discussed with you what are the measures of central tendency, like what is the central point in the data that defines the data set. Similarly, we studied about variance, covariance, standard deviation. What are the other points that give out basic qualities in your data, and you can make good decisions while looking at just these basic data points and make meaningful conclusions. In the video that we have today, we will be studying about the measures of shape. Now, what are measures of shape? Measures of shape simply means that how is the pictorial depiction of your data give out good points or some very good analysis that you can make on the data just by having a look at the data. So when you plot your data on a graph, the shape that it takes gives out meaningful results, or meaningful analysis can be made by just looking at the shape of the data. Now, when I look at the data, the distribution of the data, it's simply plotting of the data points in a graph, a 2D image where you plot your data points across x-axis and y-axis. Now, the data that you've plotted can be symmetrical or asymmetrical. Now, before I jump into this further, I want you to understand what is symmetrical and the difference between basically symmetrical data sets and an asymmetrical data set. Okay. Not talking about the measures of shape, if we pictorially look at the measures of shape, important thing for us to notice is the difference between a symmetrical data set and an asymmetrical data set. Symmetrical data set is a data set that can be divided from the mean, median and mode. All three of them lie at the same place, and if you divide the data set from the mean, they are mirror images. The left hand side and the right hand side is the mirror image of each other. You can draw meaningful conclusions from these, wherein you can say that the central point of the data set lie together and there are equal points distributed to the left and the right. Okay, now moving to the asymmetrical data set. Asymmetrical data set is a data set that can be skewed. That is skewed. It can be positively skewed or negatively skewed. Now, what does skewness tell us? That the data has a tail. So if it's a positively skewed data set, it has a tail on the right side. With these kind of data sets also have outliers. Because of the tail, the distribution or the values are not closer to the mean. So there would be certain cases which can be outliers. Similarly, in a negatively skewed data set, you have a tail in the left side of in the left side of the plot. Again, you can see that there are cases where there can be outliers in a positively skewed data set also and a negatively skewed data set. Now, the basic points of central tendency differences that you can find is that in a positively skewed data set, the value of mode is less than that of median, is less than that of mean. So, mean is greater than median, is greater than mode in a positively skewed data set. However, if you talk about a negatively skewed data set, then your value of the mode is greater than that of median, is greater than that of mean. Apart from the skewness, there are other points also that we must take into consideration that also define our measures of shape, and that is called kurtosis. As I said, that kurtosis is another measure of the shape that is very important to study. As the symmetrical and asymmetrical data set tells us about the distribution, similarly, kurtosis is a feature that tells whether outliers are present in the data set or not. Kurtosis basically mean that the tails of the distribution that you have are, if they are heavy or if they are fat, this means that the outliers that are present in the data set are more as compared to the distribution of the data set that has a kurtosis that is less. Now, a standard normal distribution has kurtosis 3. So 3 is the value or the kurtosis that says that it's a standard normal distribution where my mean is close to median and is close to mode, and most of my data points lie closer to my mean with some distribution. Now, when I come to Leptokurtic, Leptokurtic is a distribution where my distribution, the center has high peaks and the extremes have fatter tail, which means that some part of my data lie close to the mean with a high, because the mean value is higher, therefore the peak is higher and there are a lot of outliers. That is why the tail is fat, or you can say that the tail is thick. The value of a Leptokurtic is greater than 3, which signifies the presence of outliers. Now, the third category from Leptokurtic, Mesokurtic, is Platykurtic. Platykurtic, as you can see that the name itself justifies, the data is more shaped like a plateau, where the center is not very high. The mean is much below what it would have been in a standard normal distribution case. Most of the data lies close to the mean. So the center is more shaped like a plateau because data is closer to the mean, and the tails are very thin. So the cases of outliers in such a distribution is less. Okay, now through this measures of shape video, I hope you guys would be able to understand that once you look at the plot, what kind of distribution that you have, whether you have a symmetrical distribution or an asymmetrical distribution, looking at the tails of the data, you can make out whether the outliers will be present in the data set or not. If it's high peaked, then not like some part of the distribution lies closer to the mean. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. We will be coming up with more videos on quantitative finance. I know quantitative finance is has become very important these days, and this is what we aim to achieve through this particular module, wherein we teach you about the basic of statistics, so that when you look at a data set and when you look at various data points that you have, or a collection of data that you have, and you are able to draw meaningful conclusions from it. If you're looking for study material, free study material, we also have that on our website from thegenesis.com. It's a free blog website wherein we keep on posting articles. There are a lot of articles about statistics, machine learning. Please go through those and do share your feedback on the comment below, or you can write to us as well. The email is present here. We are present on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can please join us, help us increase this community where we can spread the learning. Thank you.